A few days ago, Wizards of the Coast put up a draft of their 1.2 OGL. I don't know if you saw my last video, I'll link it in the description, but it looks like I was right about what the next move was going to be. God, I hate being right sometimes. The new draft seems to make some accommodations for third-party content creators. People can use the base mechanics of the game under the new license, but there are some pretty big concepts that you can't use, like races, classes, magical items, and D&D lore. If you want a more in-depth look on the specifics of the new 1.2 OGL draft, I suggest watching Wizards' new OGL is a Mess of Lies and Actually Good Ideas by D&D Shorts. I'll link it in the description too. Gray suits can be so easy to predict at times. I mean, just read the title of D&D Shorts video and it's really enough to see how terribly on point I was, and I hate it. But that's not really the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to talk about what they're probably going to do next and what we can do to stop it. First, a little bit more context. As of now, the 1.2 OGL is a draft. This time for real. They're looking for feedback, but honestly, I'm kind of skeptical as to how much they'll actually listen to the community. So what are they going to do next? This could go one of two ways. It's sad to say, but the most likely outcome at this point is that 1.2 will become the new canon. Maybe they'll tweak it one or two more times, but the bulk of 1.2 is what we can expect for the future of D&D, which is super lame. If this comes true, it'll slowly devour the culture built up around the game. They'll thank us for being such an active and important role in the creation of the new OGL. And then they'll stab us in the back as they continue to slyly update the new OGL when no one's looking. The new OGL claims that it's irrevocable, but if you look at the lawyer speak, it really isn't. There's also another potential option that's a lot brighter, and I kind of hope this one happens, but we're going to have to fight for it. The D&D community right now is the strongest that it has ever been, and very, very active. If we keep up the rally and speak money to the gray suits by canceling more D&D Beyond subscriptions and tell them we aren't going to buy their products under any OGL but the original, eventually they'll have to listen. I'll link the official forum in the description, but remember that money speaks louder than words to these guys. Also make sure to find any and every soapbox you can stand on and shout about it. Reddit is always a good place to start. We can also support Paizo, the creators of Pathfinder, and Kobold Press, who might be gearing up to sue Wizards of the Coast over the original OGL. And we can do that by buying Paizo and Kobold Press products and spreading the word about them. If the pressure is great enough and suing their asses is successful, the first and best OGL will become canon forever, and we can all go to the tavern and drink to our victory. But once again, this outcome is impossible unless we do something about it. Think of it this way. If this was a D&D game, Paizo is our tank, Kobold Press is our DPS, you're the healer, and ironically, Wizards of the Coast is the BBEG. Paizo and Kobold used to be our rivals, and Wizards of the Coast used to be our wizard, but it turns out they were the BBEG the entire time, and now we gotta defeat them. Paizo and Kobold have to roll a 20 or higher to hit, but it's our turn, and this could be the last move we get. You have a few options for your rolls and a damn good action economy. You can buff Paizo and Kobold, debuff Wizards of the Coast, and hit them with everything you got all in a single turn. Or you can give up and run away and leave everyone to their own devices. Here's my D20. What do you do?